guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. Good morning. 2 days after I mowed my lawn, look at it again. Out of control. The good thing is, most of the leaves are off the tree already, so we're coming to an end of fall cleanup. Hopefully, because it is a pain in the ass. Every time there's a wind, even though I've done my lawn, leaves are blown from the neighbors onto my lawn. So I want to say that I just want to forget about it and don't even mow it until the final drop of the leaves. But then it's going to be up to here, you know what I mean? So you got to pick at it a little bit. Anyway, recently I just tuned up my neighbor's Ariens 26 dual stage snowblower. Just needed a carb clean, some greasing of the joints and stuff, as well as the transaxle for the wheels. The tires had no air in it, so I pumped it up. This morning when I woke up, the left one's good, but the right one's down again. So I have a feeling that the bead is not, the tire's not beaded on the rim. So I'm gonna remove this wheel real quick, and I might get to sell the snowblower that I just fixed recently. As you can see, the lawn is not too bad, but still a lot of leaves. And this tree is almost done. Problem is, I've got my neighbor's tree, which is filled. The wind blows from that side to that side. And as a result, my neighbor over there gets all the leaves from this block. I feel bad for him because he's always doing leaves. Anyhow, this machine runs good now. Sorry, it runs well. This one's hard and pumped up well, holds air. And I was inspecting this wheel. There doesn't appear to be any holes. It looks like a good tire, even though it's 11 years old. It's not dry rotted and still has the prickly things. It's in good shape. So the only reason why I would think it doesn't hold air is that when I did try to put air in this tire before, it seemed to be off the bead. So I have a feeling that there's some dirt and grime that got between the tire, bead, and the rim. So maybe there's something in between it. So it's flat already. I'm just gonna remove the linchpin here, remove the wheel, try to get it off the bead by pushing down, cleaning the inner part as well as the other side, try to inflate it then, and we'll get these leaves off my grass for now. So we removed the linchpin. Could have to grease this axle a little bit because there is some rust that prevents me to get it off. Could be the valve too. You know what? Let me pump this up first and we'll spray some water on it. Got some soapy suds. Looking around the bead. Nothing's moving. Shot where the valve is. No air's coming out of the valve all around it. Can't understand where the air's coming out from. Looks good. So let's flip it upside down and try the other side. And here's the back. And as you can see, there is evidence of a leakage under the bead. See those tiny little bubbles? That's caused by a tiny little leak, and the soap in the water helps it be apparent. Not a father or a mother or a parent. So, looks like it's just this side of it. So it's probably got some crud in between the bead. So I'm gonna deflate the tire, push down on it, clean it out. Maybe that'll help. But first, I'm gonna try an old trick. That's right, hack of the day. If you whack it on the tire with a sledgehammer, it jars that area. So if there's like leaves and grime and stuff, it may seal the bead. I know you guys have tried this. jars the area and gives it a better seal. Like it moves the tire. Maybe that'll work. It's worth a try. I could still see some. I'm gonna keep banging it though. It's fun. I just gave it another round of some banging. And look at that. Just sprayed some more water on there. I don't see any outward protrusion of bubbles. What you see glimmering is just the suds slowly dissipating from the wind blowing. But look, you don't have any outward motion of bubbles. Do you see that? Banging it jarred the bead to touch. Is that something? No? So bang your tire if you have a slow leak around the bead. Now I'm going to grind that axle and put some grease on it. That's good enough. Some spray grease. People like to call it anti-seize. It's almost the same thing. Got our new fixed wheel. Slide it on there. Make sure you put it on the inner hole, which is the drive hole. The outer hole is the transport hole, where if you put it on the outer hole, it rolls freely. Free! There we go. Fixed. Hack of the day. Recently, I finished fixing a Toro 2450 CCR, single stage, 2-stroke snowblower. It has a stripped gear in the motor, and I think I cleaned the carburetor, I believe. Yes, cleaned the carburetor, and replaced the primer bulb. So I listed it for $175, and then a week goes by, nothing, and then finally some guy today asked me about it. So I'm gonna go meet him at the church where I usually sell my shit, and we'll see if we can get this sold. I'll take as little as 100. Hey, so I'm back, and dude was a nice guy. He had a big pickup truck, and what he does is he actually owns a landscaping company, and he just got a whole bunch of accounts for snow plowing. He's got big snow plows on a couple of trucks, or whatever. He does the streets, or whatever, or parking lots, businesses, commercial stuff like that, and a lot of landscapers, they buy up these 2-stroke Toros because, they work pretty good, they're pretty reliable, and you can easily, one guy can pick one up off your pickup truck and just use it. As opposed to the 2-stage ones where you're gonna require ramps or a trailer. Who wants to do all that stuff in the middle of a snowstorm, you know what I mean? So that's why the landscaper guys and the snow removal fellas love that Toro 2-stage one where it's easy to pick up. Anyway, so he's been buying up every one that he sees on Craigslist, OfferUp, whatever, on the internet. He bought like 10 or 15 of them already, He's ready for the winter business. So when it came to mine, he saw mine. It was in good shape, had good paddles, starts right up after I did that carb clean first pull, you know what I mean? And so sure enough, he goes, can we start it and see if it works? I'm like, first pull. And I was thinking to myself, it better start the first pull, because I did a carb clean to get it to start first pull. Sure enough, boom, first pull. Ran great, like I knew it would. And so he didn't really bargain with me. He tried to, but I told him, look, my van is a 5.4 Triton V8 engine. It breathes gas, you know what I mean? Like, if you're driving, you can watch the fuel gauge go down to empty. You can watch it. It's actually moving as you're driving. It's that bad. So he understood that, you know, 175, I really need to get 175. If not, some nut will buy it before the snow is announced, you know? So anyway, he didn't bargain with me. 175 for that baby, so I'm stoked. Get another piece of equipment out of my shed, and because things are packing up already, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna start working on some more snow blowers and get ready for the winter. Look what I did. That sucks. I have to remember that my my bagger sticks out like 3 feet more than it used to. So I did it before, so that's in addition to some more scratches. I'll try to get that out with a buffer. Every 3 days, guys, sometimes 2 days, but you know, a little bit at a time. That thing still works great, even though it fucked up my car. Holy cow. Would you look at that? I got some of this old turtle wax rubbing compound. I've had it for like 20 years. It was still wet, or you know, moist. So I was rubbing for a while. You can still see the scratch, but it's way better, you know what I mean? So, you know, the car's 9 years old, I don't care. Looks better now. That's it. Had enough of the day. Got the leaves off my damn lawn. Scratched my car. Fixed the leaky tire on a snowblower. That's enough for anybody's day. It is a beautiful day, but my next episode, I'm gonna see if I can get this damn thing started. If I can't, you think I'm gonna go through the trouble of trying to, well, maybe I will. See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.